Hi everybody, this is Louise Eddington with Utah for Bernie Sanders, and today I have with me Billy Smerka, who is running for the West Virginia State House of Delegates. He's got quite a long bio here, but he's a native of West Virginia, and he's one of our interviewees because he is a Bernie thinker, and he's got quite a history which I'll let him talk to you about. He's worked in and around 3 legislative sessions in Charleston, and he's employed at a local group of radio stations, so he knows the area quite well. So welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about where you got here and why you're standing.
Well, I was born and raised actually in the district that I'm running. My father was a 38-year UMWA coal miner. He's now retired. And my mother, for 18 years, was an accountant, most recently with West Virginia University, over the whole budget. Unfortunately, she became ill right after my first run at the State House in 2012, and over some time found out she has lupus. An autoimmune disease, and she's not able to work. Plus, she doesn't qualify for Social Security disability because lupus is one of those funny diseases.
Yes.
But anyway, to get to the point, in our state, like other states, ALEC and the Koch brothers have funneled a ton of money in and have taken over our legislature. A lot of Republicans into positions of power, and they've passed right to work and prevailing wage, which our governor is going to veto. But West Virginia is one of these states that has the veto override, and all they need is a simple majority, which they have.
Okay.
So, I come from very humble, middle-class union roots, and Bernie comes from that same cloth. He's, I'm only third generation on my mother's side that's been over here off the boat. She my great grandmother was in Hungary when Hitler was in charge. They actually fled the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of their children was left behind. But I feel like I am that 98%. I define what Bernie has fought for his whole career, and I make a modest wage. I'm not a rich person, as you can see. I mean, working at a small radio station, you don't make a ton of money, but I feel like heading into a legislature, I am the working man. I represent the status quo. I mean, the state of West Virginia has a median income of just under $38,000. So, we're a poor state, and I make right around that median income. So I understand what it's like. I walk those shoes every single day. And I'm not saying that I'm the most qualified person, but I do believe that I am somebody that can work through the issues and represent the people to the best of my ability.
Yeah. What is qualified, really, anyway? I think we need more. I think we need more we the people involved.
I think qualified means you understand the daily plight of the people.
Exactly.
That's why Bernie Sanders is who he is.
Yeah. So which of his policies do you support the most?
I think it starts out with income inequality. I mean, I mentioned the median income of West Virginia, which ranks 46th, and they just redesigned prevailing wage last year, so we don't have the 2015 numbers yet. And from what I'm reading, the Center of Budget and Policy is leading to look like we may be down to 48th.
Mhm.
So income inequality is probably the biggest thing. I grew up, like I said, in the coal mining family, and I
Mhm.
lived through strikes and layoffs, and income inequality isn't just about poor people, it's about our middle class. Bernie says a lot about that, and I think that's something that's lost, is income inequality is just not this small thing about poor people or working poor. It's about our middle class, because our middle class hasn't grown in 40 years.
No, it hasn't. And single payer healthcare, of course, is one of my big ones. And with your mum, that probably helped
Yeah.
you, just having access to healthcare.
I'm personally on Obamacare. The radio stations I work for do not provide
Right.
um, healthcare coverage or an option for any.
Mhm.
So I'm actually on the marketplace here in West Virginia.
Yeah. And, Obamacare was a great first step, but I think it needs taken further.
Oh yeah, it didn't take away the power away from the insurance companies to be able to charge ridiculous amounts of money.
No, it didn't.
They're blaming Obamacare for the price of premiums, but the truth is the cost of healthcare has dropped for the first time in history. Yet the premiums still went up. This is a game that's being played again by the moneyed corporations that are trying to win back their power.
Yeah. So you're a fan of getting their money out of the politics?
Oh yes,
Citizens United, and
I'm a huge fan of that, and I'm also a huge fan of making our healthcare system non-for-profit.
Mhm.
We're the only major country that still has for-profit healthcare.
Yeah.
There are people dying in this country of things that other countries are curing.
Mhm.
And I'm not even talking about modernized countries. We're talking about taking a pill, vaccination, and curing things we're still in fear of here.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell, I'm from a country that has a so-called socialist healthcare, and it's always served our family really well. We're US citizens now, but all those myths that people hear about it, they're not true.
I actually have my mother's godparents are living in London. They teach for the University of Maryland over there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they've lived there their kids were born there. So they're in their mid 70s.
So they know the
Been there
national health.
forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they consider themselves on the conservative side in England, in Europe,
Yeah.
but they're like, we would still be on the left in the United States.
The way it is at the moment, that's for sure. Yes, yeah. It wasn't always that way, but and we've got to turn it around. So is there anything else you'd like to tell people about you, how they can find you, how they can support you?
I have an ActBlue account.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it on www.smerka4house.com. Also facebook.com/Smerka4house. Give me a like. I'm always posting things. You can add me as a friend. You can find me as Billy Smerka Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But a few bucks helps. Sharing helps.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just about Bernie. This is about electing a lot of Bernies.
This is why I'm doing this.
Yeah. We've seen the obstructionism with President Obama, and I have my disagreements with him politically, but we can only imagine what the obstructionism would look like with a President Sanders, because we'd be having it from the Democratic side as well. But a few bucks here and there helps. I'm running in a 5-person district. There's only one Democratic incumbent, 4 Republican incumbents, and all 4 of them have been traced to ALEC, but 3 of them admittedly play by the ALEC playbook. So I am in a district. We're the economic hub. I live in Morgantown, which is the same town that West Virginia University is in. And being the economic hub, that's where all this political dark money's coming. So $1 to me is $1 against the Koch brothers. I mean, immediately. The same way it is with Bernie, unfortunately. One of the delegates from my district left the Alec homepage up on his laptop on the floor of the house.
Oh.
So, I mean, $1 to me, a share to me is something directly against the Koch brothers and Alec and their playbook.
Well, we'll definitely encourage that when we post it. And so it was, I'll post all your links in the comments below the video on YouTube and more about Billy. And do go to his Facebook page and like him and donate if you can. So thank you very much for being with me today.
Thank you.